Welcome. I got an update on my phone. Probably us going live. Would you look at that? Bray Wyatt is officially his wife filed for divorce today. So we're going to do a little bit of a breaking news. We got other news things that we're going to touch on. We're missing Charlie, but big news: Charlie got a job working. So Charlie's out in the workforce now, which is good. But anyway, the big news of the day is that Bray Wyatt. His wife filed for divorce, and in the divorce papers, she alluded to an affair between Bray Wyatt and Jojo Offerman from the backstage announcer. And I don't know how old Bray is. Bray's like, he's still pretty young. I think he's like 28, 29. Oh, okay. And Jojo's really young. I think she's like 22. So anyway, this is a pairing that a lot of people didn't really see. They were like, oh, chubby white guy, sexy black girl, whatever. You know what? It's one of those things. We don't want to get too involved in people's business. And also, it's America, innocent until proven guilty. But it was cited in the divorce papers that Bray Wyatt was having an affair. There you go, 30. He was having an affair with Jojo. The fact that they're both on Raw right now, Garrett, do you think that since neither of them are considered, like JoJo's not considered like the top person in her field, she has the ring announcing, and Bray is not in the world title picture as of right now, could you see Vince McMahon wanting to move them, maybe switch JoJo with the SmackDown announcer, or moving Bray back over to SmackDown over this, or do you think it's something that will just be swept under the rug?
Well, I could see either of the last. I could see either the first one or the last one. I don't think he's going to move Bray, because I think he has a plan for him, or someone has a plan for Bray on Raw. Otherwise, they wouldn't have moved him there. Maybe
That's
something
true,
with Strowman.
He just get moved, like 2 months ago. So.
Maybe they put him in with something with Strowman before Strowman gets his title shot or something. But, because Strowman would be like, I see what you did to everybody now. You just abandoned us or whatever. Yeah, because that's something that they could always go to. But I think that either the guy that, the guy with like the hair on SmackDown that does the announcing, that's like, yeah, and da-da-da-da, doesn't really sound like a ring announcer, I think he'll end up on Raw. I think that's probably what will happen. Just probably so that
flop on, because they're kind of interchangeable, right? Like the
right,
ring,
it doesn't really
like. I don't think people will.
JoJo used to announce for SmackDown. You remember before the brand split? That's where she announced, was SmackDown.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
It's not like when Lillian Garcia was there, and Lillian Garcia was like super loved, and so people would have taken offense to them moving her to the quote unquote B show. But these announcers are kind of interchangeable, right?
Yeah. Funny thing about Lillian Garcia, I'm pretty sure she had like a low key relationship with The Rock for a little bit, but even if it was just a storyline, usually those storylines even turn into a little bit of something, even if there's not really something there,
right.
Because you get intimate with someone like that, even on screen. And I mean, you'll hear about actors, falling in love on movie sets and stuff. So it's, they're essentially, like really athletic actors, but more than that, obviously. But that's what we want to make that comparison.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Yep, it happens.
I mean, when you have to pretend to be together on a show like that for so long, I mean, it just kind of happens.
But this is different. This is like, they've been probably traveling for like the last however many months, all over the place, because, especially on those shows where SmackDown and Raw are in the same city on a week, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I wonder if it's one of those. You got to
think though, Bray just got switched over to Raw, and JoJo's been there since the beginning. So it's not like they've been traveling together for like years or anything. So I wonder if
the whole first year of SmackDown Live, for sure, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
at least
they were separated. So I wonder if they had something going on before. You don't want to speculate too much, but it's possible they could have had something going on before, and Bray requested to be moved over to Raw, because that was kind of a shocker to a lot of people that Bray Wyatt got moved to Raw, because he was in such a good position on SmackDown. So who knows? Maybe it's possible that he requested to be moved over there and then, got himself into trouble. But, I still, wish the best for all parties involved. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the careers of Bray Wyatt or JoJo. I don't think it will. They might get a little bit of heat backstage or something. But if Bray Wyatt's wife was more involved in the WWE, like daily activities. Like if she was a wrestler or something, this would be way bigger of a deal. But you know, I think they'll be fine. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see how this will play out over the next couple of days. A couple of other wrestling rumors that we have confirmed taping dates, not necessarily air dates, but taping dates for the Mae Young Classic, which is July 13th and 14th in Orlando at Full Sail, just like how Cruiserweights was, the Cruiserweight tournament. So, and we also have 15 confirmed entrants. Well, actually, we have some are rumored, some are confirmed, but for the most part, we have a pretty good list of names here. We have 15 of the 32. So NXT superstars Bianca Blair, Lacey Evans, Tainara Mello, Sarah Logan, Kimber Lee, Julia Ho, Victoria Gonzalez, Mary Kate, Danielle Camella, and Zhao Zaya. Might be mispronouncing her name. They will participate in the tournament, as well as new signees Nixon Newell, Evie, Demi Bennett, Kyrie Hojo, and Thea Trinidad, who she's the brand new signing. Thea Trinidad, she's going to be seen as one of the favorites going into the tournament, and this is via WrestlingRumors.net. Head over there if you want to read up more on there. This is the 12th of June, so we're about a month away. Would you expect us to have more confirmed entrants? Do you think they like to keep things like this a bit of a secret, Garrett?
What was the exact question? My connection pooped.
Do you like how they're kind of keeping the participants secret? Because we're only a month out now. Oh. Would you expect more confirmation at this point?
Didn't we have like all the picks of the Cruiserweight Classic this close to it or something?
I feel like we did.
At least all the big ones like Sabre Jr.
Yeah, and especially with women.
Perkins. And,
as far as the names, I've only heard of a handful of names from the 15 that I just listed. Right. And so
some of them rang from the indie scene. I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing because they may just be waiting until that last.
No, see, I think it's a bad thing. I think they should announce it earlier and post vignettes on YouTube of these women.
But I feel like they're keeping it bigger secret because they want to, in the last couple of actual weeks or maybe even days leading up to the tournament, they can release those big names. I don't know. I feel like maybe they don't have all their signed people yet that they're signing for this tournament.
That's true.
I feel like this is going to be just like the Cruiserweights because they definitely signed some of those people and they never intended on keeping them, Right. So, or if they did, the people didn't want, they knew what WWE was like already and they didn't want to go that way.
Right. I mean, you had Zack Sabre and who was the other one that refused to sign?
It was one of the luchadors, like actual luchadors, I think.
It wasn't Grand Metalik.
Is that why Metalik? No, he was just Grand Metalik. No. I don't know, but there was a couple of them that bigger names that didn't sign.
Yeah. So. I don't know. So it's interesting. We have about a month to go till that. I'm actually kind of excited for it, and we've never seen a showcase of in-ring talent from women before, other than some of the NXT women's matches, but we've never seen something to this capacity. So it'll be interesting to see how these 2 days pan out,
Yeah.
Another rumor, this past Raw, Michael Cole said that not Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns may have retired The Undertaker, kind of leaving the door open, and people have been going crazy with that. From all reports, is that Undertaker does not plan to return to wrestle again. I don't see why he would. So I think that was just Michael Cole. I mean, you never want to use absolutes. You don't ever want to say that someone will never come back or they're guaranteed to come back because you never know, right? So I think that's all it was Michael Cole not shutting the door completely on a return. But do you see Undertaker coming back?
I think if they see money in a Cena Undertaker match, still probably. I mean, who do you have the guy face? You got like him, maybe Finn Balor, maybe if they could somehow ever swing it, which they probably never will, a returning CM Punk for a rematch. Because I think if you're going to think of a guy he's going to put over at this point, because he can't win again, right? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and Undertaker is so old school. You know that he wants to lose his last match. That's always a
And
tradition.
every match
with
from
the
here
older
on out,
wrestlers.
after the display at WrestleMania, every match after this match is his last match. So at least for
Yeah,
the time
pretty
being.
much. Yeah. I mean, he's only going to wrestle at WrestleMania if he does wrestle, and he's going to lose his last match. So does he really want to lose his last 2 matches? I don't know.
At Mania.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he'd want to, especially since the streak was such a big thing. 2 losses is already kind of cutting it. 3 losses just kind of diminishes the streak, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the final big news story of the day is that Emma is expected to return to TV maybe tonight on Raw, and that she's expected to be put in a storyline with Mickie James and Dana Brooke. I personally love the pairing of Emma and Dana Brooke. Hopefully they turn on Mickie and Mickie ends up being a full babyface again. I think a Mickie against Emma feud with Dana Brooke in Emma's corner, just like they were in NXT, would be great for all 3 of these ladies.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty. I mean, they even teased the Emma and Dana thing when they first brought Dana up. And
Right.
When we first had her come up, we were all sort of hesitant. We were like, I don't know if she's going to work on the main roster, and she hasn't really been on the main roster. Let's be real. She has been.
Dana's been in and
backing
out. She
somebody
was
up.
Charlotte's whipping girl.
Yep, she's either backing somebody up or and that's really where she shines, is as like a secondary heel in a feud. And I could see it, and I'd be interested. Yeah, like you said, give something for these people to do. They've been trying to do women's mid card feuds, so this is your excuse. You know what I mean?
I mean, Dana Brooke's got the look, and Emma's got the look. And Emma's definitely got the in-ring talent. I could see them pushing this all the way there, and who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
they tried turning Dana face way too early, but I feel like people don't even care about when she had her face run. Like, put Dana as a heel with Emma and have them run shit for a while, and if you run it long enough, people will care about Dana finally turning on Emma. You just have to give it time,
So
and if they book it right, then.
So I'm just making my mock with what we're saying here. Card for Great Balls of Fire. So you have Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar in the main.
Right.
You have your what is the IC title feud still going to be? I guess Ambrose Miz.
It'll be Ambrose Miz again, but I think the
Miz
Drifter will probably cost
Right.
Dean and Ambrose setting up their feud. So
Right, and so we got Joe versus Brock, Ambrose versus Miz, Hardy's versus Cesaro. You got Alexa v Nia, right?
right.
And then you've got in the mid card feuds, you've got like Apollo versus Kalisto still probably, or maybe even Titus, but we'll just say Apollo for now. Apollo versus Kalisto.
It would be kind of nice if they brought back like an old face to tag with Kalisto to go against those two.
Yeah,
I don't know who they could, but
I don't know.
I mean, throw another luchador in there, man. Grand Metalik's good.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Or
ahead.
if you can somehow swing Rey Mysterio back,
Oh God, I think that would be No, they're not bringing Rey Mysterio back.
Look so bad because
They
really
would
look how
not
much
bring
of a
Rey
clone he is.
Mysterio back to go against Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews.
Oh yeah, you got a point. He's gonna be a main eventer, but and then you have the women's mid card feud, the Emma versus Mickie, and you have some bottom match, whatever that is, and that's a pretty good card,
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think you have to do a bottom match. I think that they're going to go really in depth with this Kurt Angle cell phone.
Yeah, that could be what you could resolve.
Yeah, I think
that
they're
then.
going to kill a lot of time. I think they're going to resolve it at Great Balls of Fire. Maybe we see a returning Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, coming out as the Authority, maybe trying to fire
Kurt Angle
or something. So
yeah, that's a pretty good card if that's what they go with. Go with the Emma versus Mickie thing. Otherwise, you're having a missing piece. But if that's what you want to do, I'll watch that and I'll be entertained probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
And matches don't even look good, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just
I forgot to list one last piece of news. A lot of Mark Andrews was in a match during the Download Fest or something like that. He was in an 8-man tag. Yeah, Download Festival. He fell on his head, and a lot of people were thinking it might be a pretty serious injury because they ended up stretchering him out. But that ended up just being a precaution. He just had a little bit of bruising on his head, and the doctors cleared him early the next morning, and he is on his way. So Mark Andrews is fine. If you haven't seen the video of Mark Andrews, is actually, he plays guitar or bass, I can't remember what it was, in a rock band, and they had just finished their set, and they actually played a storyline where Pete Dunne came out of nowhere and nailed him, and it was good. Just mixing a lot of real life with kayfabe. Their match is going to be phenomenal when they go for the title. So, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on, Garrett, before we go?
I'm just glad the guy's not hurt. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks when guys get injured. I mean, I know it's part of the business, but even like you expect it, but you just don't want it to happen. This is one of those things where it always looks way more serious than it is, even when it's like a bad injury. Like when Mick Foley's life was basically over, it's still it's stuff like that. It's just I want to see. I wish there was a way you could make wrestling safer without taking away from the art of wrestling.
Right.
But that it starts becoming less of a dance and more of a just nothing that you really want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know how to describe it. You start taking away the fun part of the dangerous part of wrestling, and it starts to become like what Raw was a couple of years ago, which is just safe feuds with safe people.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it's going to
really
go. Yeah, and I mean, hopefully they can go all out in their match. If you looked at if you watched their match in the CWC, Mark Andrews and Pete Dunne, they wrestled in the semifinals. They had a fantastic match. It got overshadowed. There's the name I was thinking of. Kota Ibushi was the other one that didn't want to sign. Him and Zack Sabre were the two that didn't want to sign from the CWC, so they might be waiting on some women just like that. But yeah, if it wasn't for the Cedric Alexander Kota Ibushi match, that might have been the match of the tournament. Was Andrews versus Dunne. It was fantastic. Go back and watch it. A lot of you guys have WWE Network. If you don't, I don't know. Go find it legally. No, just kidding. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But anyway, that'll do for this episode. Watch Raw tonight. Tweet at me, Visoka Gaming. I usually tweet throughout the whole show. It would be great to have some conversations with you guys. Jesus Christ. Might pick one. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday's episode for the Raw Deal podcast. We had a good showing last week, so hope to see a lot of you guys back for that. Peace.
All right, guys. Later.